Pokemon Kanto Black is a unique and very fun ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red, and I highly recommend it to ROM hack enjoyers. There's many changes to mention, but the main gimmick of this game is that the Kanto region now features only Generation 5 Pokemon, and the Sevi Islands can contain Generation 6 Pokemon too. If you're an UNOVA enjoyer like me, you'll love this game. The world building is very nice. Every mention of a Kanto mon from the base Fire Red has been changed to be appropriate. The hypno, for example, in Island 3 is swapped with a malamar in the dialogue as well to match its description a bit better. This mon here in Pewter City is swapped with a purloin, along with having the right Pokemon cry. In the Onyx Grave at Island 5 is swapped with a Floette, which makes sense lore-wise considering AZ's Floette. I like these lore changes as it makes a Generation 5 experience in Kanto feel authentic and like they actually fit into the world, immersing you into the game when you're Nuzlocking it. There's many more changes to talk about, such as quality of life changes, conveniences, Wonder Eggs being a thing, some gym leaders having their types changed to match the available Gen 5 Pokemon better, an in-depth difficulty setting that you can customize to your liking. This game is also very easy to get into as the Pokemon have almost no stat or ability changes over the base Pokemon. Any change that there is to Pokemon in this game are very minor, with only a couple exceptions such as Aegislash retaining Doublade's ability No Guard and having its stats changed to essentially be an upgraded version of Doublade due to the technical limitations of not being able to implement stance change. In this video, I'll be showcasing what happened during my 50 hours spent Nuzlocke in this game. The rules are, I have to play an Omega difficulty, which is harder than the vanilla games, but I disable EVs for my opponents as that's a really capped mechanic. I also use standard Hardcore Nuzlocke rules, and an extra rule that I allowed was to only allow one Wonder Egg per gym, otherwise you could just abuse the Wonder Egg system like crazy. Something to note is that this game does not have any available documentation about any Pokemon changes or enemy teams, so I'm pretty much blind here, which makes things a lot more difficult. All I know are the level caps that were stated by the developer. Another thing I got to say is that because this is a brand new channel and I'm just starting out from scratch, if you like this video please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. YouTube is really rough on new small channels and it can be pretty RNG getting your channel to be big, so if you want to see more good content then be sure to show some love. There, that's my one call to action done for the whole video. So with all that established, here's what happened in my 50-hour hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Kanto Black. So start the game and set the appropriate difficulty for the Nuzlocke, then go to select my Super Pokewalkie starter, Baby Please. In hindsight I love these starters, but man they were badly balanced. Their stats to my knowledge have not been changed at all in this game, but they can get different secondary abilities. Superior is an okay mon. It focuses on speed and defenses, which is a pretty decent combination with low attack and stats. Giga Drain and Leech Seed are pretty good for stalling strats. It gets Shed Skin, which turns into Defiant as Superior, which is a really mediocre ability for it. It's not a great physical mon anyways, and Defiant I feel is only good in really select cases. Keeping Shed Skin would have actually been better, but honestly at least it doesn't have Contrary because Leaf Storm shenanigans is really dumb and it's also really boring at the same time. You feel stupid using it. Samurott is such an odd mon, being mono water with really incoherent stat distribution. It starts off with shell armor, which is amazing, but it becomes lightning rod when fully evolved, which on paper sounds amazing, but in reality in this game it's really not all that much to write home about. This isn't Vintage White where you have very specific double battles where you can really abuse lightning rod. Hell, in this game you don't even get it for Lieutenant Surge, so you don't even need it there at all. Also, not having documentation means that you really can't predict cheese AI. You don't really know which mons have electric moves and which ones don't. Also, I just didn't notice the AI using electric moves at all anyways. Stat wise, Samurott is just all over the place, feeling like the designers just didn't know what to do with it. High attack and special attack is just wasted. Nor is it fast, and its bulk is only a little bit above average. Also, the mixed messaging of giving it almost exclusively physical moves out of the wazoo, despite the fact that it's got more special attack and it gets stronger special moves. Why use its signature move Razor Shell when the average HM Surf is just more accurate and significantly stronger anyways? It's kinda lame. Then there's Emboar, Black Emboar, the Pokemon you'll never beat in the Octagon. One of my all-time favourites. I feel like this is maybe the best one, though it does suck against Brock. Its stats are also pretty whack. The big issue with Embor is, why the hell does it have 100 special attack? Who the hell is running special Embor? Its speed stat sucks, and its bulk is about on par with Samurot's. It hits like a nuke, but that's pretty much it. Reckless is a really nice ability, and I really like the design philosophy of recoil spamming. It makes sense with this design and its stat distribution. Anyways, let's just start the damn run. So I pick Sevi and pummel the rival's cheeks. I grind and I get 5,000 rare candies, then go to catch my first batch of mons. I catch a patrat, a lillipup, P-Dove in the forest, then at Route 2 I don't get an encounter, I go to get my free panpour, which I will be needing. Also make sure you keep it as a panpour, as you'll need it for an in-game trade, which is really important. I get my first wonder egg, which you can get at Pewter City, and I hatch it there for its met location. It's a regenerate Solosis, which is okay I guess. Wonder eggs I think always have the hidden abilities and always have some really good guaranteed IVs, so that's pretty good. Now it's Brock time. This fight is pretty weird and can go wrong if you get no good encounters for him or if you pick Tepig, but otherwise you should be fine as his movesets really suck despite being rock types. Panpour leads off and gets 2 KOs, then it along with Sevi can clean up the rest of the fight. Along with the Carbink that required Patrat to come in and beat it, but the good thing is that you can technically overlevel by quite a good amount because the level cap is level 13, which is so low, so it's really easy to level up mid-fight, and Brock also has level 10s for some reason, so it creates kind of a level imbalance. But after that, I move on, and something to note is that the normal trainers in this game are pretty much all cannon fodder. Similar to Radical Red, they might as well just not exist at all and they wouldn't really change anything. So I just get more encounters, and there will be a lot of those to come. I get a Wild Munna and a Woobat, and I could buy Basculin at Route 4, but it's better to definitely not go for that, as literally every single piece of water in this game contains Basculin anyways. Because I have one gym badge already, I remember to get my next Wonder Egg available, and I hatch it in Viridian City to get a Tortuga, which is pretty neat. Nothing of note happens until Misty, except more encounters. I do like the touch of adding trainer nurses in some of these caves. So, Mr. Chad, which fossil did you take? Good question. I'm glad I asked. I got the Plume fossil. In this game, Arkin has Runaway instead of Defeatist, but it got a slight stat nerf to compensate, so that's pretty neat. Get Ducklet at Route 4 instead of Basculin. Then absolutely destroy Rival as he's suspiciously underleveled. Seriously, he's not worth talking about. Last 3 encounters are Cottony, Petalil, then I fish up Basculin in Cerulean, which is the right play to do. The game has changed a little bit, so you can't move past Cerulean City until you beat Misty, so I have to beat her now. Her gym has been changed to an ice type gym, and she can use Hail, so she could be a slight threat. I lead off with the Rain Dance Basculin to get some KOs, but she just sets up Hail, which is pretty annoying. Tortuga can slam her weaker ice types, but her 2 Cryogonals can be a bit annoying as they like to spam setup moves. But my Watchhog was able to beat them with Low Kick, which it actually learns in this game by level up, which is interesting. Man, it's nice to see Poghog actually get some use unironically. Nice flawless fight, but you might want to take an emergency sack just in case. Move on and I get a whole load of encounters such as Purloin. I like how the fan club guy is now pogging out over sawsbusck instead of rapidash. Lel. Anyways, I get Dwebble, Drillbur, Blitzel, hatch my 3rd egg on the SSN for a Golett, which is pretty nice. Then trade the Panpour that I got at the start of the game for an Emolga, which is very important. And also, I get a trade here for a Vanillite. Then pummel the rival again, and though his team is a little bit better, the moveset still sucks, so it's a free fight. Once again, I cannot progress and go to Celadon City until I beat Lieutenant Surge due to linearity change, so my final mon I get before Gym Free is Frillish, then I just go to Meme on Lieutenant Surge. Here's what I did for this gym. I sent out Motor Drive Emolga, and I won. Lel. Yeah, the AI just doesn't understand how Lightning Rod and Motor Drive work, so it just played in its booty and just keeps spamming Electrotype moves. I didn't even have good friendship with my Emolga, so Return was barely doing any damage, but it didn't even matter. The AI was literally just letting me win, so that was pretty funny. Now, this is where things get interesting after this gym. as I now get to unlock the Sevi Islands for exploration, and get some Kalos mons as well. That's pretty insane for this point in the game. The amount of encounters this game gives you is staggering, probably more so than any other game that I've played. In fact, this game gives you so many encounters in so many areas that you will literally lose track of what areas you have and have not encountered on yet. But it's pretty fun getting so many mons to play with. I catch Pansier, Joltik, Scraggy, Gothita, Minchino, and Trubbish, and I'm only just getting started. Before continuing on, I clear out Rocket Hideout, but I leave Giovanni for now. After that, I hatch my 4th egg and I get a Larvesta, which is interesting. I can't wait to use this until like the end of the game. Now I have even more content to do by unlocking the Sevi Islands early for exploration, and I get so much more stuff. I start off at Island 1 and I fish up a Clauncher, not bad. I then catch Bunnelby, though at Kindle Road you no longer need surf to go to, so that's pretty nice. After that I go to Island 2 where I catch a Sapsipper Skiddo. Sapsipper Skiddo seems kind of situational. Maybe if there was a grass type gym leader coming up, that'd be pretty good. Oh, right. There is. Then I move on to Island 3 where I catch Grass Monkey in the static Malamar, before going back to Island 2 where there's now an NPC who can revive my Orkin fossil. This thing is pretty neat. And there's still more to do after that. Before returning to Kanto, Bill gives me a Kalos starter. Nice, Froakie, and it's got protein and hidden ability, that is awesome. After all that, it's time to progress the game again and fight Erica. Unpheasant is pretty good now that Fly got a buff in its power, so it finally has a good move. Her Florges kindly buffed my Stoutland's Facade, so that was pretty nice of her. Swoobat takes out Maractus. Malamar takes out Gurgeist. The thing had flipping Flash Fire, which is pretty interesting. This is where things got interesting. I was literally at risk of getting swept by this Lilligant as I had no good mon to answer anymore as it was using Quiver Dance. Until I literally remembered last second I had Sapsipper Go-Go in reserve as an afterthought, which ended up just winning the fight right here for me. That was pretty neat. After that I then go to fight Giovanni, and he was harder than I thought it'd be. Half his team consists of weak mons, but his Pangoro was a huge threat. I had to dodge 3 crits in this as I really underestimated its power. Excadrill is strong, but Diggersby was able to blast it. Oh yeah, another gym badge, another Wonder Egg, and it's an Axu. That's pretty cool, but damn, those IVs are lit. Another rival fight, but he's still really easy. He needs to evolve his mons before he becomes a threat, so I'll just gloss over him for now. It's time for another boatload of encounters. Lavender Tower I get Litwick. Clear out the tower then move on. The Marowak there was replaced by a Cinccino for story reasons, which is pretty interesting. This is the point where you start to get so many encounters that it actually becomes hard to encounter new mons as literally everything is a dupe. I got Odino, which is about time, I haven't actually seen that mon yet. But at Route 14 I literally could not encounter anything because I caught every mon there already. That's pretty annoying. At least I do find this Sussy Amugus mushroom, along with Carablas's Safari Zone, which is found to booty blast some mons. Get Surf, then get more encounters before Koga. Get a Swadloon. This thing's not bad as it gets Sticky Web. Cycling Road I get Ferroserum. Oh baby, that is sick. And now it's time for Koga after all that. This game be like an encounter simulator at times. Now Koga really caught me off guard and has some threats. He's now a bug type user due to the lack of poison types in Gen 5, which I guess that still makes sense lore wise for him to have bug types. The fight starts off well until he pulls a Clawitzer out of nowhere. My favourite bug type apparently, I guess. And I did not have a good answer for this. It was only a matter of time till I had to sack something. Oh well. Archeops should sweep until I saw a Celigor had Water Pulse and was able to Oak it. Drats. The docs were wrong. I ended up actually being under leveled because it gave me the level cap for normal difficulty, which was actually wrong here. And the level difference might have made a difference here. Whatever. I had to sack one more mon to the final Scavalier as it destroyed my Lampent, even through Eviolite, but honestly it was a pretty bad lamp anyway, so it didn't really matter, but I finally got some losses. But really, I have so many mons in my box, this isn't really an issue yet. Next egg I get Stunfisk. Really? On to Silphco. I get jumped by Green again because he just can't stop thirsting for me apparently. Hey, at least some of his mons are fully evolved, but funnily enough, this ends up being even easier than before despite that. Especially as I have his whole team figured out and I could just plan for all of his mons appropriately. So, Giovanni rematch. This was actually kind of rough. His team is really souped up now. His Pangoro one-shotted my Molgar. What? It wasn't even a crit. I think Payback has like 60 base power now, so it's like Dark Revenge, which is pretty strong. That's kind of crazy. Thankfully Haxorus was able to beat it, but things got worse as I had no safe switching for the Golurk and just had to risk the range on Dual Chop, which I missed. Man, Haxorus was really pog. Ferrothorn had dodged a crit, then I was forced to sack again to the final Zoroark. Scrafty will be useful later, so it's got to be a Scavalier. Then Chinchino had to hit the tail slap for the win. I was frighteningly close to wiping. I lucked out. But now I was getting worried about my losses. Things are starting to ramp up in difficulty. Before doing anything else though, I just go straight to Sabrina and thankfully she was way easier. Liepard can get 2 KOs straight off the bat, and Scraggy can frag him on. Garbodor tanks a Psycho Boost from Malamar, which I did not expect. Then as Ferrothorn takes out Aromatisse, I really panicked as I found out that our final mon was a Shadow Tag Gothitelle. I tagged the crit and was just able to take out with Pin Missile. Phew, that was a relief. No casualties I guess, things are getting a little bit better. Now that I can surf, there's another batch of new mons to get to replace the older ones. I start off with Fro from Fighting Jojo, then I get my Wonder Egg which is a Rufflet. I like this mon, it's pretty cool. I then encounter Vullaby and Alomomola before Blaine, and delayed Pokemon matching for my encounters here because apparently according to the developer you can get a Genesect there in post game, which is definitely something I want to get. And herein lies a big problem, as Basculin, Alomomola and Frillish are literally the only surf and fishing encounters in the entire game, so I literally can't get any more mons on any of the water routes. Which is pretty annoying, they're basically just fodder for hatching Wonder Eggs now. Hell, even in Sevi Islands, the only Kalos mon you can actually fish up is like Clauncher, which I already have, damn it. I do get some juicy trades at Cinnabar Island, like I trade Vanilla Ice Cream for Oshawott and Pansear for Tepig, which is awesome. You can literally guarantee all the starters in this game this way, which is really nice. But wait, there's more. I can go back to Sevi Islands and get more encounters like Bambi at Treasure Cave and Binnacle at Treasure Beach now that I can use Surf to get there. And I can start the quest to unlock Islands 4, 5 and 6, which is actually insane getting access to this before post-game content in main game. Except Canopy Runes in Island 7, they're still post-game in this game, but the encounters are starting to get out of hand because there's so many areas now in this game. And as if this wasn't enough, you can literally speak to the creator of this game and get access to a brand new Battle Frontier Island with more encounters, and holy smokes, it's got a trick house, and this trick house is awesome. I genuinely really had a lot of fun here. The puzzles are good enough and they're hard to the point where it actually forced me to use a whole 1% of my cranium to overcome them, and that is really saying something about how hard they are. I spent an hour trying to clear out some of these puzzles and the rewards are pretty good, like IV boosting items that actually increase your Pokemon's IVs. That's pretty new and pretty good idea for ROM hacks. Take notes people. Strength puzzles are my jazz, that was pretty fun. Okay, after that, let's go to Island 4. It's kind of weird coming here during main game and not post game, but that's nice. I don't have Waterfall HM yet, so I can't do any of the events here that progress the plots, but I can just still go and get my encounters. I do get Kragonol, then go to Island 5 and get mons like Pancham, Flababy. I admire the lore of the Floette Grave. I lose my Basculin to this random Dedenne. 0 dams were given though. Yo, a new NPC here gave me an Eevee egg, which isn't counted as a Wonder Egg, so I do allow it. In the Lost Cave I get a Boldor, about time I found this. Then finally lose a Homeboy Unpheasant to Selfie's Lilligant. That's a shame. Island 6 I get Howlucha and Honedge, both are great encounters, Aegislash particularly, one of the better mons in this game, and my final encounter is a spoopa. I can't get anything at the water routes, unfortunately, so that's kind of annoying, but Blaine time, and man, he was pretty hard, the 7th gym leader. But also the level caps were once again wrong from the docs, so I was pranked, bro. I was memed on by the developer. Oh yeah, in this game Blaine is being changed to a normal type gym leader. So that's interesting. Pheasant was an easy clap, along with Pyro, which got too greedy with Nasty Plot and got blasted for it. The final 2 mons were pretty demonic. Buffalon attacks a high jump kick and one-shots Howlucha. Yikes. Braviary takes a life by smashing my team and has freaking surprise heatwave sheer force life orb which roasted my Aegislash. That is really bad. It's probably my best mon right there. It also somehow one-shotted Jellicent from full health without a crit? What? I know Braviary is strong, but holy moly. Luckily Barbarical was able to finish it off. I could have wiped right there. At least I didn't. At the very least after that I can go straight to Gym 8. This time Giovanni uses dark types, which actually makes sense I guess. I like how the dark type gimmick thing going on with the lighting, but thankfully this gym was significantly easier, since dark types are somewhat easier to counter for. Oh yeah, new egg, which is a Fennekin. Not bad. Anyways, Gym 8 time. Leavanny's time to shine, setting up sticky webs and getting a KO. Big Embor gets 2 KOs and is a beast here. Scrafty then beats Excadrill. Golark hard counters his Terrakion which he has, which is pretty freaky. And Florges can counter his Mandibuzz. Easy enough fight with no losses. Time to move on to the Pokemon League. The next rival fight was easy enough. Embor was surprisingly strong, almost killed my Musharna with Head Smash, but everything else was easy to handle. He clearly hasn't finished prepping his team yet, so I'll give him a pass this time. Now, a rule for this Nuzlocke is that I only allow 1 legendary Pokemon per team, then in post game there will be no limits and I can start using like the 680 base stat total mons because everything else will be souped up as well. So with that rule established, I go to Island 1 to the Volcano area now that I have Surf, and I go encounter the juicy Volcanion. It KO'd 2 of my mons, but was worth it I guess. I didn't want to use my Bastard Ball on it yet. Before Victory Road, I get a Surfing Palpitoad. You know, why didn't I find this thing earlier on in any of the other water areas? Oh well. But in Victory Road, I was speedrunning too hard and got some totally avoidable casualties, like Florges, which I really wanted to take to Elite 4. That is unlucky. I tried to catch the static Terrakion at Victory Road, but it was just not happening. It was setting up on me and I lost Reuniclus because of it. Yikes. Then I lost both Serperior and Samurott because I didn't bother healing up my mons. That one was on me. I was thrown here, but at the very least I made the Pokemon League now with a few casualties, but still plenty of mons remaining. Time to prepare for Elite 4. The main point of interest is that Lorelei is now a water specialist, Bruno also has steel types and Agatha has fire types. Pretty neat change. So with that in mind, I need mons to counter them. I think this team will work. Maybe, I don't know. YOLO. Anyway, let's go. Lorelei's first, and her lead Swanna was pretty annoying. I wasted a turn Toga spiking, which ended up being a big mistake, and I had to dodge a crit already, which is not a good sign of things to come. Caracosta and Jellicent were easy to handle, but the Dragalge was a big problem as it just came out of nowhere on a water team and it shafted my Toxic Spike strat. I also didn't have a great answer to it. I had to Toxic Stall and pivot with Water Absorb Volcanion, and I had no choice but to dodge a crit. Leech Seed Greninja, then pivot around to stall and dodge another crit. Yeah, this is getting a really scuffed fight. Thankfully her final Beartic was a pushover. That was a pretty tense first battle and was really hard surprisingly, but at least I didn't lose anyone, thankful for that. Bruno is next, and this is where it all went wrong. He led off with a Durant of all things, and I had no idea what this thing was packing. I was scared of it setting up with Hone Claws or something, or Swords Dance, so I tried to blast it with Volcarona, which is 6 levels higher, but it did in fact outspeed, and it did in fact have rock coverage. Oh no, this is really bad. Embor, I guess. Okay, Embor somehow outsped with Choice Scarf, even though it's minus speed nature, and I accidentally clicked Drain Punch instead of Fire move, but that's fine. But I'm now locked into Drain Punch, and the Ferrothorn deals so much damage to me. I don't have a safe answer at all, and against a Sock, I just can't handle this. I have to dodge a crit, but thankfully I take it out. Then the throw proceeds to destroy my team with Rest and Bulk Up. I probably could have found a way around this, but in the moment I just started panicking and I had no idea what to do. I wiped to the final Klinklang on his team. To be honest, as soon as Volcarona went down, I was screwed one way or another. There was almost no way I would have made it past his Elite Four. I just wouldn't have made it to the end. The Elite Four is a really surprising difficulty spike and is way harder than the Gym Leader so far. Without docs, and without knowing what the opponents actually have, I just could not come up with a good plan because I had no idea what I was up against and what coverage moves they would have, but overall, I still really enjoyed this game despite that loss. Hey, I actually spent 60 hours in this game instead of 50 hours, but regardless, that's a run over. If you like Gen 5 and you're a Gen 5 stan, I would definitely recommend this game. The crazy amount of encounters and extra areas you get makes the game really fun as there's so much content and so many mons to experiment with. But that's pretty much the end of the video. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe and all that good stuff. Stay tuned for more content coming soon. I'm going to hit those 1000 subs, baby. Let's go. See you next time.